How's it going, guys? You remember back when I said I was going to make a new deck? Yeah, finally made that new deck. There's a couple of things wrong with it, though. I'm still missing one Mewtwo. I would like to have at least 3 in this deck. I feel like 4 is overkill. In my time playing around with this deck, 2 is not enough, especially if one of them gets prized, and I would like to use another one. I feel like 3 is the magic number for this. But this is a Mew Prime, Mewtwo, and Gardevoir deck. That's the only Pokemon that runs in here. I might run one more Cleffa. Just for the fun of it. But other than that, that's really all it needs. It's kind of interesting. It's a little bit slow to set up, especially right now that Rare Candy is not working on Ralts. I believe that's some kind of glitch that happens, when they introduce a new pack, kind of like how Victory Star and Vanillux, those kinds of things, those are broken for a while. But I'm kind of showing off Mew for a little bit because I don't think I've ever actually used it on this channel. But Last Link is its Poke Power. It lets you use the attack of anything in the Lost Zone, both yours and your opponent's. And its primary attack is it lets you pick a Pokemon from your deck and throw it into the Lost Zone so you can start using the attacks on it. So it's a pretty cool card. I'd like to thank Doused for giving me the additional 3 Mews that I was looking for. It's what really let this, kickstarted this deck and put it into gear. But for now, as much as I would like to have another Mew in play, I want to see how many Mewtwo's I actually do have in my deck. If I have both, I can see off one of them, and I do see that I have both because I only have 2. But right now, I'm actually just going to go ahead and Pecom out the Mew and go ahead and get myself a Ralts, and then see off the Mewtwo for that first turn. That way I can just go ahead and eke out the next turn. The sooner I can get a Mewtwo, I don't care whose it is, mine or the opponent's. I have no way of getting it into the opponent's. I used to be running Gengar as filler. And then I used to be running Prism Energies as well, so I could take advantage of what I threw of theirs into the Lost Zone. But I felt like that just got way too messy, and Mew's a little bit too fragile. There's not enough of a steady setup in order to work with that, so I figured we'll just stick with what I know. And once I get another Mewtwo and once Rare Candy's working, I feel like I can have a little bit more fun with this deck. These 2 games I'm showing are kind of just, where I get the ball rolling, exceptionally quicker. For now, all I see on the field is a Regigigas EX, and this is not that big of a threat to me at the moment until it gets about 3 energy on it, in which case it can start killing everything in my face. For now, I'm really tempted to put down the DCE on Mew just because, it can start X-balling and whatnot. But do I? Yeah, I figure why the hell not. I'll just put an X-ball on it, or put a double colorless on it just to boost it. Since, Ralts isn't fully evolved yet. But how this deck really works is, it's based around Gardevoir, and I think I zoom in on that when it comes into play. But I'm going to force out my hand a little bit. I do draw it into a Junk Arm, which means I can Junk Arm out a couple of things for Pokemon Communication. That is the only thing I can get out of the discard pile, but I really need to get the Gardevoir in play as soon as possible in order for this deck to shine. For now, I do see Regigigas EX, as I previously mentioned. I'm going to zoom in on that for a little bit, probably make a good thumbnail or something, I haven't decided. But we got that, and then we got Zekrom. Setup's a little bit slow on her end. I don't know if it's her, just everything lagging, speed and cards and whatnot. Probably not too many good cards in her hand. But I do wake up, do draw into a Kirli as well, so I don't have to Pecom that out for now. What I do decide to do, I believe, is put the Mew down and then, get another thing ready. I guess I just decided to charge that one all the way up, so that's kind of cool. What am I doing? What am I doing here? I feel like I'm just going to leave that one in to die, or, just stall for a turn, because I don't need to shuffle out this hand yet. If I draw to a Pokemon Communication, that'll be pretty cool, because I can just Junk Arm, or if I don't, I can Junk Arm out to get it, and then, get the Ralts out of there, get the Gardevoir into play. If I get the Common into play, awesome. That means I don't have to Junk Arm for anything, but I don't want to shuffle out this hand for some reason, because I feel like, my odds are just way better of just, Junk Arming right now. And it doesn't look like the Regigigas can attack until it gets a double colorless on it anyway, since she's decided to build up both at the same time as opposed to just the Regigigas, which would have given me a little bit more trouble. In case I need to explain what X-Ball on Mewtwo EX does, it does 20 it adds 20 power to it for each energy attached to you and the defending Pokemon. So how this will come into play, you will see. But for now, Zekrom comes into play, and I think all it can really do is just outrage me for 20. Not a big deal. It's okay. For now, I do get another Psychic Energy. I decide to Junk Arm out, I believe, the Catcher and the Psychic Energy, or the Switch and the Catcher. So those are, I wouldn't really ordinarily do this, I guess, but I really do want to get this Gardevoir into play, and then in case, one of my Mew dies, or when one of my Mews dies, I can just go ahead and eke out for a new hand since I am in that position. But Gardevoir has a Poke Power called Psychic Mirage, and what that does is every Psychic Energy attached to a Psychic Pokemon counts for 2. instead of 1. So you can kind of see what's going on there. My Mew technically now has 8 energies attached to it. 3 psychic energies doubled. And then I also have a double colorless on there. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 120, 140. And then with the double colorless is up to 160. With the 2 electric energies on Zekrom, that put it at 200 damage. Since Regigigas also has the same amount of energy, I believe, or will be getting the same amount of energy, I have enough, you know, attacking potential to take it out on this next turn. And if she doesn't get enough energy, you know, into play, then that's going to be game. Because, or I think she just ends up putting another energy on it, which is kind of futile since, you know, that just... I could have killed it off on the next turn anyway. But she tries to catch her out Gardevoir to stall for a little bit of time. She doesn't know that I have a switch in my hand. You would generally do that just to stall for time. But that does happen to be the last card in my hand, which is, you know, kind of her worst nightmare situation, I guess. I run switches in there just in case someone likes to try to catch her out the Mewtwo prematurely. Or the Gardevoir, you know, that kind of sucks. Or in case I need to force out Cleffa, you know, that kind of thing. Just kind of waiting to see what happens. And then, you know, Regigigas can't really do anything. So as soon as she's done, I will just switch out the Gardevoir and then, you know, kill it off with Mew for super much damage. So let's see how much that does. I forgot. I think it's like another 200. Yep, that's another 200. Because an EX took it out in one shot. That's 2 prizes of mine, double Sharons. Don't really know why both of my Sharons just ended up being back-to-back, but whatever. That's the end of the first game. I figured, you know, this one was really short. And I was like, you know what? I don't really feel comfortable playing with this deck until Rare Candy works, but I'll give it a shot. I'll give it another shot just for you guys, just to see if I have a video. And this was the first battle I took. Like, I logged on to TCG, I was like, we're going to do this one. And I started screen recording this one, and it was the first one. It was so weird how well it worked. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Tails, because Tails never fails, and look at that, except for when it's heads, then it kind of fails. But, you know, I have my Ralts there, and then I'm looking at my deck. I do have everything that I want to have in there. I have all 4 of my Mews. I have both of my Mewtwoos. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a Mew, a Mewtwo, and a Clefairy, put them all on the bench. And then I can use the switch on Ralts to get it out of there and then see off the other Mewtwo. And then we'll just be fantastic. We'll be good to go. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have used this level ball right off the bat in case he wants to end or judge or just force out my hand. I don't even know what kind of deck he's running. All I see is Cleffa. You can plug Cleffa in just about any deck, and that doesn't really tell you shit if that's the only thing on the field. But I get my Mewtwo EX, my other one's seen off on the first turn. And as I mentioned, you know, that enables all of my Mews to use X-Ball. And that's pretty cool. But for now, he's going to go ahead and use one of the new cards, which is Heavy Ball. It actually is really helpful for getting out Reshiram or the heavier things. I've noticed that Reshibor is kind of coming back just because of Heavy Ball. You know, you can play it with Sky Arrow, Bridge 2, and whatnot. But it lets you search for Pignite and Emboar and all that kind of stuff. And it's just really good. Like, I've been fighting this in electric decks all weekend that I've been playing it, so it's kind of weird. But, for now, I'm going to put another energy, or I'm going to put a energy on Mewtwo, and I was really tempted to, like, decide whether or not I wanted to eke out my hand, and I decided, you know what? I think I can chance it. I replaced the rare candies with Pokemon Communications for now, because, you know, rare candy's broken. It turns out I end up drawing into Pokemon and a Gardevoir anyway, and a Professor Oak, so that's not terrible. I can get it evolved on this next turn, Oak out my hand, hopefully get some energy, and then, you know, all psychic energies attached to all of my Pokemon are doubled, and that's awesome. So you'll kind of see how much work it's going to do. Maybe thumbnail, potentially. I'm still stuck between this and the Regigigas. You guys will obviously see what's decided. So look at his wins. He's got a decent amount. Probably leads for some good competition. And then I see the Tepig, and then I see a random-ass Mareep. I'm like, I don't really know what that's doing in there. But he's also got Copycat 2 for whatever reason. All I know is that this is like probably a newer version of Reshibor that's kind of floating around. But seriously, like, the only decks I've been fighting are like Electric with Zekrom and this. Barring that random-ass Mareep. I really don't know what that's doing there. But he does end up waking up. I do draw into another Mew. Now what I can go ahead and do is I can Pecom out the Ralts, or I could have level balled, either or. I guess I just decided to Pecom just because I'm feeling fancy. Really had no reason to do it, but put down a Mew, put down a Gardevoir, and then that will double everything. I'm also going to go ahead and Oak out, hopefully draw into some energies, and I do draw into a couple. I draw into 3 and a double colorless. Double colorless being good on, you know, Mewtwo for when when Gardevoir isn't in play, that enables it to X-Ball immediately on the first turn. But while Gardevoir is out, Psychic Energies do function basically as double colorless. Double colorless does not function as Psychic, though. You know, they don't end up doubling for whatever reason. But I'm going to send in a Mew right now, since they're easily more disposable than my Mewtwo, since, you know, they got low HP counts, whatnot. But they do have high damage potential when I have this setup going like this. So, I believe his Reshiram is completely set up. Well, not completely, but it does have enough to go for one of its attacks. Now, my Mews, all they need are 1 energy, and they can start X-balling right off the bat. I just decided to put a DCE on Mewtwo just to get it out of my hand, I suppose. Go for Sharon. Don't really draw into anything interesting, but what I do want to do is take out that Pignite soon. For now, I would much rather focus on Reshiram while I do have a Mew that's still alive in play. I got pretty lucky in the fact that he didn't get a heads on that, since if he did get heads, he would get 30 more damage on that and he would have taken it out. But for now, you can see he has 3 energies on that. I technically have 2, and then that will be doing 100 damage. I can send in Mew again and do 100 more damage. Or I can send in Mewtwo right now. I just decide, you know, gloves are off this early in the game. Why the hell not? X-Ball for 180, because I have another Psychic Energy on there, and that's how that works. And because I killed off an EX, I get to draw a couple more prizes. Neato, neato. Send in Mary for some stupid reason, probably just to stall for time until he gets the Ember going, hopefully to get a Reshiram in play. For now, he just decides to put down another Tepig. I don't really know why he's running both colors in his hand or whatever. Whatever. Let's see what's happening. So, I hope you guys kind of get the feel of how this deck works. If I need to explain it a little more, I will in the comments. But, it's been a cool concept. Nick was like, oh, it's going to be a little slow with the Gardevoir. It's not really going to be too fun. I've been having a blast whenever I can get this thing working. Like, I catch her in that Pignite right there, do 200 damage to it. And the thing is that the Mews can do the exact same thing, too. They are just a little bit lighter, in that you can get them out with level balls and stuff. They have free treat as well. And then this guy ends up disconnecting on me, and that's really stupid, and I hate it when people disconnect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit OK, take the win, and block them as well, because if you're going to disconnect on me, I don't want to play with you anymore. That's rude. You can just concede. That's fine. And then I just pause it and unpause it, and then whatever. Hate DCers. Anyways, that'll do it for both videos. I hope you guys enjoyed both of these. If you did, you're welcome to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. I'm probably going to be waiting until Rare Candy's fixed before I run these, but I did want to, you know, show you guys that I do have one lying in the wings, ready to go, and then that kind of stuff. Do still need another Mewtwo. I really doubt anyone's going to toss one my way, but I think I do have a couple of things I can trade for one, and then I do just need that third one, and then I'll just be waiting that out, and then we'll be good to go. So expect to see this deck a little bit more in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.